I majored in theatre and I used to direct and produce plays and design costumes. That was the kind of genesis, I suppose, of my career. And the thing about obviously working in performance is that you're telling stories. I think if there's a thread that links all of the phases of my career together, it's that idea of narrative or storytelling. I'm Alice Cicolini and I'm a jewellery designer, and we're here in Hackney Wick in London. Sort of grew up with, what's, in effect, a slightly stereotypical idea of what India is. I do think that the Britishness of it is kind of important because there's a sort of nuanced affection. So when I went for the first time, the smell comes into the aeroplane of this sort of potently different kind of place. I think you either fall or you don't. For me, I kind of really fell. How was I going to think about colour? How was I going to think about sound? How was I going to think about scent in the context of my work? Well, colour is a huge part of it. I think I've realised the more and more that I work with it and the more I wear my work, is that actually it's a neutral thing, colour. It's not something that has to match. I think the thing about being in India is that you really feel that in a very palpable way. It's just kind of everywhere. The 22-carat gold pieces that are glass enamel are all still made there. And every piece of stone that I work with is carved in Jaipur by the same man. I literally work with 2 craftsmen on the Indian side and have done for a decade. But for me, that collaborative engagement with someone else's skill is really fundamental to the story I'm trying to tell. So glass enamel, it's an engraved process. So you create the shape of the gold, and into the gold you're engraving out the pattern. But it's layers and layers of, in effect, molten glass with pigment inside. For me, enamel is like painting on gold. In every piece, there's a story that brings together a narrative of cultures, or a narrative of making, or a narrative of pattern, or of colour. You don't necessarily know whether they're a contemporary object or a historic one. And there's something about that little game that I also quite enjoy. You can put a piece of my work into your jewellery wardrobe and it can look like it's always been there.